My name is Apoorv Jain. I'm a third year undergraduate student of the Department of Agriculture and Food Engineering, enrolled in its dual degree course with specialization in financial engineering. I'm from Jaipur. I'm a boarder of Patel Hall of Residence. I'm contesting for the post of Vice President, Technology Student Gymkhana, Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur, for the academic session 2013-2014.
Do the panelists have any questions on the introduction? Apoorv, you may move forward with your SOP.
The Vice President is a representative of the students of IIT Kharagpur and is the most vital link between the institute administration and student community. He should be a dedicated team player, an efficient organizer, and a motivating leader. My candidature for this post primarily rests upon my active involvement in diverse activities at IIT Kharagpur. I have been involved with Students Alumni Cell for the past 2 years. As a student member, I worked in various facets such as database networking, sponsorship, and logistics. Based on my performance, I was nominated as the General Secretary of Students Alumni Cell for the academic session 2012-2013. I assisted the Office of Alumni Affairs and International Relations to raise an amount of rupees 2.06 crores. I supervised the successful organization of the 10th Alumni Meet, which witnessed the participation of 139 alumni and more than 1,000 students of IIT Kharagpur. I was also a part of Student Alumni Mentorship Program, which saw an increase of 300% in student participation. I am also responsible for the publications of IIT Kharagpur, namely KGPN, Yearnings of Yore, and Yearbook. The initiatives like Regional Student Alumni Meet, Alumni Guest Lecture Conclave, and E-Guest Lecture Series were my undertaking. I am also in the process of setting up the official brand merchandise store of IIT Kharagpur. Apart from my involvement in Students Alumni Cell, I am an active member of Hindi Technology Dramatic Society and was a part of its gold-winning contingent at Springfest IIT Kharagpur and Carpedium IIM Calcutta. I have been also involved in all the 3 general championships under Technology Student Gymkhana. During my stay at Madan Mohan Malviya Hall of Residence, I directed the Inter-Hall Hindi Dramatics play. In Patel Hall of Residence, I was a part of gold-winning Inter-Hall English Dramatics team, silver-winning product design team, bronze-winning Hindi Dramatics and choreography team, and was a part of cricket team. With my experience to participation in a wide plethora of activities and the positions of responsibility which I have held at institute level, I believe I will be able to discharge the duties of the Vice President with utmost dedication and hence give full justice to the post.
I have a question for you. You have been also, did you believe that the Vice President, when once takes a responsibility, should not go back on his promise to the students? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
There have been instances in the past where you have been in various societies and things which you have left after joining them within a few days of joining them. Instances include the Shidich team and the Technology Film Society. So, how can I believe that once you stick your promise and fulfill the responsibility?
Sir, I left the Shridish team because of my emergency family medical reasons. And regarding the Technology Filmmaking Society, which was in the first year, I joined it because it was my hobby. And since in my second year, I held a lot of positions of responsibility, that's why I left the team and I consulted with the governors before leaving that.
Apoorv, but a vice president has a lot of duties. He will always have to manage time efficiently. Because of other activities, you gave up on a hobby. That's just not acceptable.
Sir, filmmaking was just my hobby. It was my prior responsibility to take care of the students' alumni cell activities as I was a second student member in my second year and a general secretary of students' alumni cell in my third year.
Apoorv, agreed that you left the film society due to your other commitments, but did you actually stop indulging in the hobby of filmmaking?
No sir, it's still my part of the hobby and I pursue it when I get a free time.
Now that you have mentioned alumni cell, I have a mail here, okay, from one alumnus who came this year, and she mailed this to Assistant Warden of SN Hall of Residence, saying that she actually met with an accident. I'm sure you are aware of the incident. So she met with an accident and then she had to undergo a surgery. So she wrote in this mail, on my behalf, the girls contacted the alumni cell team regarding this. Alumni cell has assured to try and arrange for it, but next morning they blatantly refused to take up any sort of financial responsibility, A, saying that you have got around 2.06 crores for alumni meet this year. And you could not get 5 Second, after the meet, she wanted some volunteer to drop her off to the station, and then she was said that they replied that since the meet was over, they were no longer responsible towards the alumni. And then she mentioned this, after this disheartening incident, I am filled with regret on my decision to attend the meet, despite the sentiments and nostalgia towards the institute. The accident was nobody's fault but the organization side on whose invitation I visited the campus. Such lack of hospitality and indifference in my time of distress was totally unexpected.
First of all, I would like to tell you, an unfortunate accident happened in SN Hall of Residence during the hall visits. Then she was admitted to BC Hospital along with the members of Students Alumni Cell and SN Hall President. Regarding the payment for the treatment, Dean of Alumni Affairs and International Relations, Professor Amit Patra, had a talk with her and she said her treatment will be covered from the insurance policies. Secondly, on 7th morning, she was accompanied by the Students Alumni Cell members to the station and she appreciated our members for our great hospitality and she also gave her a token of appreciation.
But why do you think she mailed this to my warden? Why do you think after giving the certificate of appreciation did she mail this to the warden of Sarojini Naidu Hall of Residence? How is that? Because we do have a copy of the mail here with us.
Ma'am, if she wouldn't have liked the hospitality, she wouldn't have given a token of appreciation to our members.
But we have the mail copy here with us, right? Where she is writing. She mentioned actually about the hospitality. She wrote that in this mail. This mail came on 23rd of January. Directed to the warden.
Ma'am, as I mentioned, that she gave a token of appreciation to our Students Alumni Cell members who accompanied her to the railway station, and she also gave a positive feedback to both Dean of Alumni Affairs and International Relations to whole Students Alumni Cell team.
Will you be for the benefit of the panelists, will you be able to furnish the proof of the positive feedback after the SOP is over?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Apoorv, I have a question for you. You have mentioned a figure of 2.06 crores. You have helped in assisted the Office of Alumni Affairs and raising 2.6 crores for the institute. Don't you think it's a very big, it's a very big achievement? First of all, congratulations. Secondly, don't you think luck plays a very major factor while raising this amount?
सारा पैसा खा गया.
Sir, hard work along with luck leads to great success.
Hello.
Apoorv, yeah, I just want to ask you something. You just mentioned a huge amount of 2.08 crores that you assisted in getting. Okay. According to some, it's a very big amount. Regarding insurance policy, is 5,000 rupees such a big amount that wasn't able to be furnished at that point of time? And another point, about those 2.08 crores, how is the alumni cell getting a contribution from the postgraduates and the research scholars in those 2.8 crores? Can you just give us some idea about that?
Sir, first of all, I would like to correct you. It's 2.06 crores. And now please repeat the question with the corrected figures.
Okay, Apoorv, please tell me. Apoorv, please tell me the contribution by the postgraduates and the research scholars in this alumni meet that you organized this year. The contribution by the postgraduates and the research scholars. I hope I'm pretty evident and clear to your ears right now.
Contribution of postgraduate and research scholar.
Apoorv Jain, in your figure of the so-called amount of crores of rupees that you mentioned, what is the contribution by the postgraduates and the research scholars in that particular amount? Do you please understand the question? Please,
Apoorv, I think Apoorv, for the benefit of everyone present here, I think it would be better if you elaborate on the breakup of 2.06 crores. I think that
Please don't feed him, let him answer the question asked to him.
Please, exactly. The panelists are not supposed to discuss this. I'm just helping the candidate understand the question. Please, don't worry.
Sir, in 2.06 crores, 2.01 crores was raised in the name of batch endowment and I bought a sponsorship worth rupees 5.25 lakhs for the 10th annual alumni meet.
No, you didn't answer his question. He's asking the amount, the total amount that you had, how much percentage of that was received from postgraduate and research scholar alumni? You're getting it right? Can
I got it right? He didn't mention alumni, he just said postgraduate and research scholars. That is what he mentioned the question.
alumni? Apoorv, instead of beating around the bush, can you come to the answer, please?
Sir, I would like to tell you, we do not discriminate among postgraduate, research scholar or undergraduate alumni. The money that has come from 2.01 crores has come from different batches. Not discriminating among postgraduate, research scholars and undergraduate alumni.
Apoorv, can you explain on your work in database networking?
So, we called the different alumni and invited them for the 10th annual alumni meet.
Apoorv, what was the total turnout in the alumni meet of all the...
Sir, in the 10th annual alumni meet, 139 alumni came as compared to 100 in its previous year.
out of those 139, how many were there were postgraduates and research scholars?
As I mentioned before, we do not discriminate between PG,
Do you have the data?
alumni.
Do you have the data? Do you have a data telling me, or which you can even mail me later maybe, that you know the number of students of various fraternities of IIT Kharagpur coming? Because we are mainly questioning the reliability in which the alumni cell is contacting all the alumni, as you say, being completely impartial for undergraduates as well as postgraduates. Please throw some light in that direction. Do you want me to repeat the question? I think you might not be able to understand it already once. I can repeat the question.
So, if you are so willing to discriminate among UG and PG alumni, I'll mail you the separate list after the SOAPBOX.
Apoorv, where are you interning this summer? Where are you interning this summer?
Nowhere.
In the University of Quebec, Canada.
I have been associated with the placement committee and I know as a matter of fact that has no MU without in your university. Are you aware of the rules that we have regarding foreign internships? And if you are, then that is a direct violation of institute rules. So what are your statements regarding that? And plus, yeah, there was no advertisements as well of this university. So you are violating institute rules, yes or no?
So, ma'am, first I would like to tell you, I have an internship agreement signed by Professor P.B.S. Bhadoria, Head of the Department of Agriculture and Food Engineering, by myself and the Professor Jax Hort of the University of Quebec, Canada. That is an internship agreement. Secondly, I have received a no objection certificate signed by Professor S.K. Barai. By making this comment, you are questioning the credibility of Professor S.K. Barai.
Professor S.K. Barai. It's just that you were not allowed to contact universities where IIT Kharagpur doesn't have an MOU or who don't have an advertisement online. But you still went out of your way to contact such a university. That is the point. Will you be breaking such rules throughout your tenure also if elected?
This is an allegation.
Please let him complete the answer. If the candidate wants to answer the question, he will go ahead and answer.
Sir, as I mentioned before, there's already an internship agreement signed between both the universities, and again you're questioning the credibility of Professor S.K. Barai because he has himself issued me a no objection certificate for interning in that university.
Apoorv, are you aware of the rule that if the said university has an advertisement about internship program, then you are allowed to contact those universities even if there is no MOU?
Yes, sir, absolutely, and I would also like to tell you that university also applied on the MyTex program.
Apoorv, first I would like to congratulate you for your work on the alum sale because 4 alum came to JCB this year for the first time. And second, what has been your work with reference to PG and RS? What makes you stand for this post?
Sir, could you please repeat the question?
What is your experience or work that makes you stand for this post of VP? With reference to PG and RS especially.
Sir, thank you very much. That this time for the first time, the alumni went to the JCB Hall of Presidents. And secondly, this time for the first time, we funded the Research Scholars Premier League, which was an interdepartmental cricket tournament. And because of which we have received a very positive feedback from all the research scholars.
Apoorv, can you list down
Just a
few
minute. Nikhil, here's a follow-up question.
Do you know the budget of the Research Scholars Premier League? And are you aware that you sponsored the trophies of it, and that too came from the Institute Development Program? Do you know the reason why it came from Institute Development Program?
Sir, we gave 10,000 rupees for Research Scholars Premier League, and Institution Development Program is headed by Dean of Alumni Affairs and International Relations, under which students alumni cell come. And we convinced the Dean of Alumni Affairs and International Relations to fund the My Imprint Cup, Research Scholars Premier League, which was an interdepartmental cricket tournament.
Do you know that when you approached, Dean rejected it, and then when the Research Scholars representative personally approached, then it was given?
With Dean of Alumni Affairs and International Relations, Professor Amit Patra, and Managing Director, Institution Development Program, Mr. Chinna Bodhipalli, and both the General Secretary of Students Alumni Cell, where we convinced them to contribute for the My Imprint program. My Imprint Research Scholars Family.
Apoorv, can you list down few initiatives which you have taken as the General Secretary of Student Alumni Cell?
Sir, as I've mentioned before, I took the initiative of Regional Student Alumni Meet, Alumni Guest Lecture, Conclave, and E-Guest Lecture Series.
Apoorv, I have a question. You told that you assisted Alumni Cell to get 2.05 crores of alumni fund, 2.06 crores of alumni fund. So what was your exact role? What do you mean by assisting there?
Sir, I laid down the operational strategies of the batch endowment campaign, which was appreciated by Dean of Alumni Affairs and International Relations and Managing Director, Institution Development Program, and then it was followed by the whole Students Alumni Cell team to raise an amount of rupees 2.01 crores for the batch endowment campaign.
Apoorv, do you have any plan? Apoorv, do you have any plan to ensure the participation, the representation of PGRS is student alumni cell?
Sir, for the student member selection in second year, we invite the applications from all the second year students, including postgraduate, research scholars, and undergraduate students, and we encourage that they should be a part of Students Alumni Cell team.
But that didn't work. Outside of the alumni cell, what are the things that you have done for the betterment of the student community of IIT Kharagpur? Outside the alumni cell. Can I repeat the question? I got it.
I got your question very clearly, and I've been associated with Students Alumni Cell for the last 2 years, and I use its best platform to work for the welfare of the student community by organizing various events like Alumni Guest Lecture Conclave, E-Guest Lecture Series, Student Alumni Mentorship Program, because of which students have helped and gained career guidances.
you were not the governor of Hindi Technologies Dramatic Society. Were you involved in helping those second years and first years of Hindi Technology Dramatic Society? Was it outside the alumni cell?
Yes, sir. In my second and third year, I helped the HTTS juniors for the direction of the play, and it was outside the students' alumni cell activities.
Apoorv, let's imagine a situation. You have been elected as the vice president, and during your tenure, you have a conflict of interest with the general secretary. Let's say general secretary technology, with respect to Kshitij. I mean, you have a difference of opinion about a particular issue, about a particular idea. So, will you exercise your authority as a VP to implement your idea by overruling the G6?
Sir, I won't exercise my authority because I'll try to influence them, and I'll also consult the steering committee members of Kshitij team, and in consultation with the general secretaries to technology, we'll take a proper decision. I won't impose any decision on them.
Without any experience in any of the student-run fest of IIT Kharagpur, do you think you would even have an opinion regarding any issue in the fest?
So I guess you didn't listen to my answer before. I said I will consult with steering committee members of Kshitij also because they have more experience regarding the fest and the general secretaries, and accordingly we'll take a decision.
Apoorv, as a vice president, is there any restriction on you proposing any idea to any of the student festivals?
No, sir, there is no restriction, and I believe the general secretaries will also encourage if any proposal is put forward by me.
Thank you.
Apoorv, I see a trend over here in your track record. You joined the HTDS, did plays only in first year, nothing after that for 2 years. You joined Technology Film Society, left it, left it after 10 days. You joined Kshitij core team, you left it in 7 days. Tomorrow you'll become the vice president. After 10 days you see, I have got a seat.
Sir, first of all, I would like to correct you. I'm still a part of Hindi Technology Dramatic Society, and I did street plays in my second and third year. Secondly, I left the Kshitij team in 1 day, not 7 days, because of my emergency family medical reasons. Thirdly, regarding my Technology Filmmaking Society, my participation, it was my hobby, and I consulted with the then governors, and then I left the society.
Apoorv, see, my simple query is, okay, you might have justified reasons, but finally you have a reason to leave everything, right? Let it be 1 day, let it be 7 days, but finally you are giving up on something that you joined. Does this reflect good on your part as you're standing for the post of vice president?
Apoorv,
Let him answer the question here.
fine, Apoorv, answer the question.
Sir, my family is an integral part of mine, and I don't expect that such family medical reasons ever happen to my family once again.
Apoorv, regarding your hobby, regarding your hobby of filmmaking, I guess Alumni Cell also released a couple of guest lectures, and they also had a video series where an alumni who had come to the meet told us about their experiences during the IIT Kharagpur. So, were you not involved in that?
Sir, I was involved in that. It was my initiative to organize the e-guest lecture series, and I introduced all the speakers in those videos.
Apoorv, can you explain your role in the brand merchandise store, which like you were telling that you are listing there?
Sir, I ensured that the tender was released. First of all, the place was booked in the Students' Activity Center where the brand merchandise store will be opened. Then the tender was released and the companies were invited to submit their proposals. Then finally a company was shortlisted depending on the tender committee and the codes. Then I was the point of contact for that company from IIT Kharagpur, and I finalized which items has to be put them in the brand merchandise store, and it will be started by the end of this current academic year.
Apoorv, you have been active in dramatics for the past 3 years. I want your opinion on what Patel Hall of Residence did recently in the Bengali dramatic.
Akshat, I'll refrain you from asking this question. It's something which is under the jurisdiction of the president.
So, being a general secretary of alumni cell,
Just a minute, I would like to answer his question. Sir, we are responsible for raising money as well as we organize a lot of events, as I mentioned in my statement of purpose, like Student Alumni Mentorship Program, Alumni Guest Lecture Conclave, E-Guest Lecture Series, Annual Alumni Meet for the benefit of the students of IIT Kharagpur.
Apoorv, can you shed some light on the increase, if there is any increase or decrease in the amount that you have raised from previous years? And what is the share that you are contributing? The 2.06 crores, right? What is that share? The total amount raised.
Sir, because of the operational strategy which was laid down by me and the hard work led by the students alumni cell, we were able to raise 2.01 crores in the name of batch endowment as compared to 6.67 lakhs in its previous year.
Is this because of your initiative or is it because of the Institute Development Program? Please don't name the credits of alumni cell. I'm asking your initiative, your role, your contribution.
Sir, laying down the operational strategies for the batch endowment campaign was solely my initiative. And then it was followed by the whole student alumni cell to raise an amount of rupees 2.01 crores in the past year as compared to 6.67 lakhs when there were no operational strategies laid down by me.
So was it just because of your strategies or was it because of the Institute Development Program which already I believe Alumni Affairs Office was going to conduct?
Sir, as I mentioned before, there were no operation strategies in the previous year. That is why we were able to raise just 6.67 lakhs. And because of my operation strategies, which was appreciated by Dean Alumni Affairs International Relations and MD IDP, we were able to raise a significant amount of 2.01 crores. Significant amount of 2.01 crores.
Apoorv, do you have any document to support this? Any credentials given to you from the dean or anything like that?
Yes, sir. I also have a note of appreciation signed by Dean of Alumni Affairs and International Relations, which says that I was instrumental in raising 2.06 crores for the Students Alumni Cell and IIT Kharagpur. I can pass on the note of appreciation to the panelists if they would like to know.
Sure, we'd like to have. We'd like to have the. Okay. Give it to the panelists to ask the question.
How much time have you spent on the cricket field as part of the inter-hall cricket team? Should I repeat?
Sir, there is no specific time that one has to spend on a cricket field for practice session. I attended a practice session in my second and first year.
So you were part of the practice team, not of the inter-hall.
Definitely I was a part of the team. That is why I have mentioned in my statement of purpose.
Apoorv, you mentioned you were also a part of the inter-hall product design team, right? Could you shed some light on what your role exactly was in this team?
Sir, I was a part of the Silver Valley product design team, because of which we made a product called Suryamukhi, which was a solar cooker, which utilizes solar energy to cook food. The whole team was divided into 3 sub-teams: controller assembly, conservation of the solar energy, and the transmission. I was a part of the transmission team.
Apoorv, do you know which was your slot, who were the judges, and what is the point distribution of product design?
Yes, sir, I have it. If you would like to know, I can tell you that the name of the judges is mentioned in my diary. If you like, I can open it right now.
So you don't know the judges for the event?
Sir, I know. As mentioned in my diary, it's more important that I focus on my team and on my product, not on the judges.
Apoorv, being a part of the product design team, can you tell me the various criteria on which the product is being judged? I think that's something you should know being a part of the team as you are a silver winner member. The criteria on which the various various parameters on which the judges give marks. At least can you tell us that? Or is that also in your diary which you wrote, remember?
Sir, there are various parameters like innovativity, feasibility, how the report is made. That includes, these are the criteria on which product design is judged by the judges.
While designing the product, did you focus on giving a very good product which can be commercialized rather than winning just the competition?
Yes, sir. The solar cooker is a good thing. It can be commercialized as we won the silver medal. It was liked by the judges.
Apoorv, the placement of postgraduate students have been major concern this year. What you will be doing for it next year?
So regarding the training and placement of the postgraduate students, I have a proposal. So I would like to ask Mr. Richard Chandra if I can discuss the question with him.
That will be discussed in the proposal section only. Okay, thank you.
I propose to start a bus service within the institute connecting the halls of residences to the various academic complexes. With increasing distances on campus due to infrastructure expansion, this service is expected to reduce the stress on students from the continual long distance commuting between classes. The buses will ply between the various halls of residences in the campus and the different academic areas.
Air pollution!
There will be a bus stops in halls area at various intersection points and in the various academic areas to facilitate speedy movement of buses. Details of bus stops can be found in Annexure 1 and 2. There will be a fixed routes on which these buses will ply. Details of bus routes can be found in Annexure 1 and 2, given to the panelist. The operations and management of the bus service will be outsourced to an external agency. Copies of similar tender documents released by IIT Guwahati and IIT Hyderabad is available on request. The amount payable to the company will depend on a number of parameters. These can be found in Annexure 3. The option of signing up will be provided on ERP, and as he or she signs up, an amount of INR 1000 will be added to his or her fee. Calculation is shown in Annexure 4. The actual amount of each student will be obtained by dividing the tender cost by the number of sign-ups, and the remaining amount, if any, will be refunded back to the students when they pass out. The representative from the institute to oversee the bus service contract will be a professor nominated by the director of the institute. This proposal has been drafted in consultation with Dean of Student Affairs and Mr. Amit Roy, Junior Technical Superintendent, Transport Section.
Apoorv, for the benefit of the student present here, can you explain on the route which you have chosen?
Sir, there are 4 major routes with 2 subsidiaries of each. First, from Patel Azad Nehru to Zakir Hussain to MT, then to Vikramshila, then AGFE and then Nalanda Complex. A similar route will span Patel Azad Nehru, then MT, then entering the main academic complex through gate number 5, turning left to the architecture department, going around and exiting through EC department. Number of bus stops will be 9. Apoorv, sir, let me complete my answer. I've just mentioned 2 routes. There are 8. The third route will be from MMM, then LPS, then MT, then Vikramshila, then AGFE, then Nalanda Complex. Number of bus stops will be 5. Then MMM, LPS, MT, entering the main academic complex through gate number 5, then to architecture department, then exiting through EC department. Then one route is from LLR, then MS, then RK, then RP, then Vikramshila, then AGFE, then Nalanda Complex. then LLR, MS, then RK, then RP, then entering the main academic complex from gate number 5, then to architecture department, and then exiting from EC department. Then HJP, one route will be from HJP, JCP, PS, Gokhale, SAM, BC Roy, SN. From Scholars Avenue, then Vikramshila, AGFE, then Nalanda complex. And the final route will be from HJP, JCP, VS, Gokhale Hall, SAM, then BC Roy, then SN, then again entering the main academic complex from gate number 5, then architecture department, then EC department.
Apoorv, I have a question for you. Are you aware of the fact that the current vice president and the UG representative have met the director on this issue and it has been denied? It has been refused by the director. And this cannot be implemented. Are you aware of this fact? Have you done your groundwork?
I've done my groundwork and I've also talked to Mr. Inshu Chandra, who is the currently vice president in Constituent Gymkhana, and no official document has been passed, and I've discussed this with Dean of Student Affairs, Professor Anam Mandal, and he said he can consider this proposal.
You know that the director is a person who will take this proposal forward and not anyone else. And he has already refused this proposal.
Professor Anam Mandal, Dean of Student Affairs, he said that he'll consider this proposal, and after the detailed discussion, he'll forward it to the director of the institute.
Apoorv, we completely understand that you're going to talk to Professor Anam Mandal. He is in favor of this. But finally, the deciding factor is the director. And the director has already refused a similar proposal to the present vice president of the
Apoorv, is there any difference between the proposal which you have discussed with the Dean of Student Affairs and the proposal which was discussed by the current VP and the current engineer?
Yes, sir, there's a difference. We'll be outsourcing the bus to an external agency, and as I've mentioned, I would like to answer to the Vishal's question that I've discussed with Dean of Student Affairs, and he said by making this committee you're questioning his credibility, because he said he will consider this a
We don't question anyone's credibility. We question your groundwork. Please don't make allegations on us. That is a very serious allegation.
Apoorv, if someone is denied from anything, then that person should sit silently or he should fight back again.
Sir, it's his responsibility, he should fight back again.
Instead of this,
Are we having a recognition of that?
My question is, what will happen to the environmental issues, and what will happen to the brand name of IIT Kharagpur having an eco-friendly name outside the... How are you going to solve this problem? What did you consider like in your proposal?
Sir, by floating the tender, we'll put in the details that we'll be requiring eco-friendly buses, just like we have it in IIT Bombay.
Instead of the bus service, if we could regularize the rickshaw fares, even that would serve the purpose. Why can't we have some institute, the bus service is not possible, why can't the institute arrange for such?
Sir, I would like to mention that via rickshaw only 2 students can go, and it will take 15 minutes from Patel or Azad or Nehru to Nalanda complex, and if you use the bus service, it will take just 5 minutes, and it can accommodate 60 students at a one time.
I want to know that you have said that the amount per student is 920 per semester, but you are taking 1000 students per student per semester. Taking in account the total number of students in IIT Kharagpur, isn't that a very big amount of money that is unaccounted for? 80 rupees per student extra. And there are 9,000 students, and close to a very big amount, which is a very big amount. And how are you accounting for that amount of money here?
Yeah, I'm keeping a cap of 80 rupees, and the extra amount will be refunded back to the student at the end of 4 years.
Then why hasn't it been mentioned? Why hasn't that the amount will be refunded after 4 years mentioned in your proposal?
Let me answer this question. So if you've gone through the proposal, it is mentioned that the extra amount will be refunded back to the students once he will graduate. Can you tell me on which page is this?
which election are you talking about?
Apoorv, so let him answer.
ply just 15 minutes before each and every class timings. Like if a class is starting from 8:30, the buses will start from 8:15.
Could you show us some groundwork on the frequency of buses? Because there are 9,000 to 10,000 students on campus. Will you have a bus every 5 minutes running all across the campus? I don't believe our roads have, there's enough road capacity for all the 9,000 to 10,000 students. IIT Delhi, IIT Guwahati are smaller campuses. IIT Hyderabad would have just say 2,000 students, 3,000 students. Our campus has 10,000 students.
How many buses are you planning to use? Sir?
Let him answer that question first.
So, first of all, IIT Guwahati and IIT Bombay have smaller campuses, I believe. I accept that. But they're smaller roads also, as compared to IIT Kharagpur. We have wider roads, so we can accommodate more buses. Secondly,
roads are not smaller.
and sir, I've talked to the transport section, Mr. Amit Roy, and he has confirmed this. So, secondly,
are you aware that...
I have a follow-up question that. Apoorv, let's say if 10,000 students do sign up for the service, okay, let's say all 10,000 students are making use of the service. Do you think that any cycles will be running on the roads at that point of time then?
no, sir, automatically the number of cycles will be reduced, so there won't be any traffic on the roads.
Thank you.
On that note, in which you're saying that there will be no traffic on the road, at around 12:30 when all the classes finish, we have a huge traffic near Vidhan Chowk, and here you plan to run so many buses, and you're saying that there will be no traffic. How is that?
If all the 10,000 students will be using the bus service, there won't be much cycles on the road, which will reduce the traffic. And I've also talked to the transport section regarding this, and he said we'll be able to control the traffic at that point of time.
Do you think the roads are wide enough to contain for those many buses at 12:30 p.m.? What are the number of buses are you thinking about?
Ma'am, right now, if one bus is applied for each and every route, we'll have 8 buses. And also, depending on the number of students, the buses will increase as they sign up for that.
Fine, more buses.
Apoorv, do all the buses follow the same route? Do all the buses follow the same route?
No, sir, there are different routes for different buses, and there won't be any traffic if they follow different routes.
Apoorv, are you suggesting that you'll have 8 buses for 10,000 students? Are you suggesting that?
As I mentioned before, the number of buses will depend on the number of students signing up at the ERP who want to have the bus service.
So did you have any survey done by the students? Like, do you have any approximate
Ayushi, you may go ahead and ask the question.
have you conducted any kind of survey so that you have a tentative number? These many students are going to apply for this. Have you conducted any survey? So that you can figure out the number of buses instead of stating 8 number.
Ma'am, during my campaigning period, I've come across students who wanted to
There had been a recent modification in the roads of IIT Kharagpur wherein cycle lanes were provided, right? And the roads were widened. What was this motive of to accommodate such traffic? Is it or not?
Yes, sir, that is why cyclanes have been created for pedal cycles.
Are those roads for cycles being completed across 2.2 and across the entire institute, not just the Scholars Avenue?
In most of the roads, there are side lanes where cycles can go, and it will enhance to reduce the traffic. Because of those side lanes, the buses won't feel the traffic over there.
Apoorv, where will you park this 20 and so buses in the institute hall? Where will you park it?
These buses will be parked in front of the ground of Nehru Museum. There's an empty space over there.
What about the summer breaks? How would you plan to utilize the bus service during the summer breaks?
Ma'am, in summer breaks, most of the undergraduate students go to home, and only PG students and RS students stay at IIT Kharagpur.
Yeah, that is why I'm asking.
Ma'am, let me complete my answer. So, depending on that, we'll reduce the number of buses as per the requirement, but we will have the bus service during summer breaks also. We'll have the bus service throughout the year.
Apoorv, what are the timings are you thinking for the bus service till 5:30 p.m.? Is it?
Yes, ma'am. We'll fly 15 minutes before the class, and also when the class ends, the bus service will be provided. And also, in the special cases, when we have an event in the night, on special request buses can be provided. We can have that proposal, we can extend this proposal to that thing.
But there are many research scholars who have very random time, like they have to go to the labs during night time. So you haven't considered them. So you don't have any bus services for them during night time.
Right now, this proposal intended to the majority of students, and also I would like to tell you, this proposal is right now at nation stage, and I would like to have any more suggestions regarding that, and we'll extend this proposal at night timings also, as I mentioned before.
Apoorv, is bus service a public transport or a private transport that you have to consider for individual people?
Public transport, we do not have to consider for individual people. We have to consider for majority of the students and their welfare.
Apoorv, do you think that the bus service will help in increasing the attendance of the students in the classes?
Definitely, sir, because in early morning hours at 7:30 a.m. when we have a class, the students will have to go by bus, they won't be going by cycles, and also they'll reach on time. So it will definitely increase the attendance. And in the rainy seasons and in the summers when it's very hot in IIT Kharagpur, these buses will be a better option than cycles.
With eight proposed buses for 5,000 students, I'm sure that there will be hundreds of cases where people will not have enough place to sit on a bus. So don't you think that will actually not help them to go to a class? Because they won't have cycles here.
So I would request you to look at the proposal once again, because for 5,000 students, we'll be requiring around 23-24 buses. As in IIT Bombay, there are 19 buses for 4,000 students. And the number of buses will be required as per the number of students registering for bus service.
You just mentioned 8 and now you're saying 23. Is your fact clear?
Sir, 8 are the routes, and the number of buses will depend on the number of students registering for the bus service. It is clearly mentioned in the proposal.
Apoorv, my primary concern with the proposal remains the same. First, could you tell us what exactly is different in your proposal than what was proposed by Rishul Chandra and Jani Pasha this year? And so how will you convince the director this year when he's already refused it? I don't see it coming through.
I have answered this question before also, and we'll be outsourcing the bus to an external agency. We won't be purchasing at IIT Kharagpur.
Apoorv, do you think that your proposal will help to reduce number of...
Sandeep, no more questions. The last follow-up question will be Akshay. That's it. Final.
So have you spoken to any companies, any external agencies who are going to provide this bus service? Is there any background work on that?
Sir, I have taken the quotes. If you would like, I can distribute it to the panelists. I have taken the quotes from an external agency. Okay, thank you. Thank you for putting this down. Currently, the role of department representatives is to collect the contact of core companies and share it with the placement committee. There are cases when a core company of a particular department is contacted by a placement coordinator who himself or herself is from a different department. It is more relevant if a student or professor of the respective department tries to convince the company. The department placement committee shall comprise of one fourth-year dual degree undergraduate student, one second-year postgraduate student, one research scholar student, and one professor nominated by the head of the department from each department who will be working in coordination with the Central Training and Placement Cell. They will operate from the respective department offices. They will have the following duties. They will be providing a list of core companies to the Training and Placement Cell. The Training and Placement Cell shall prepare a list from the above and the master calling list based on the nature of the company. This list taken care by the Department Placement Committee. The Department Placement Committee will contact these companies and convince them to come to IIT Kharagpur for recruitment. As and when the company agrees, they can pass on the company name and details to the training and placement office for the required formalities. They will help the training and placement office in conducting processes like pre-placement talks, screening tests, and final interviews for placements. Now the student internship cell. The main objective behind this proposal is to increase the training opportunities for students who have compulsory internship. This shall comprise of 5 second-year undergraduate students selected on a similar basis as a placement coordinator. The companies contacted by either the placement committee or the department placement committee will be forwarded to the student internship cell if the company is interested in hiring summer interns also. The student internship cell will search for various companies and universities having internship opportunities through their own portal and share the information so that all the students are made aware of the opportunities. They will help the training and placement cell in conducting processes relating to internships like screening tests and final interviews.
Apoorv, you must be aware that currently we have, from each department we have a UG representative and a PG representative who are the department representatives to the central placement team. You are aware of that, right? So, I mean, what was the need for starting a new department placement committee with the same composition?
So right now the department representatives are not allowed to contact the companies by themselves. By the department placement committee, they are giving the rights to the department placement members to contact the companies directly. So it will help enhancing the placements of their core departments.
I have a follow-up on Prateek's question. I hope you're aware that there is a very stringent and very nice procedure for the selection of people in the central training and placement team, due to which the big responsibility of contacting companies is given to them for the placements of the students here. Don't you think that there should be a specific procedure here, and if so, why isn't it been mentioned in your statement, in your proposal? What is the selection criteria, and how are the students in specific departments are going to be selected? Please give us information on that.
So just like the department representatives are selected, in a similar basis, the department placement committee members will be selected and they will be nominated by the professors of that department.
Again, you're not answering my question. The present TNP team is a proper team which has a very big and proper selection procedure. Here it is, you're focusing on simple nomination, and how is the credibility of these people will not be different from the present department representatives existing. So how can you give them such a big responsibility of calling the companies?
So, the department placement members will be nominated by the professors, and I think professors will nominate good persons from the department.
Let's have a situation here. Okay.
I can I have a follow-up question on this, and then you can ask the next question. Thank you. Okay. So, Apoorv, I just want to know, will the department placement committee members be calling all the core companies? I mean, will the core companies not be contacted by the central placement team?
So, as I've mentioned in my proposal, first they'll prepare a list in collaboration with the training and placement cell. The companies which are focusing on 2 or 3 departments, which are general companies like ITC, they'll be called by training and placement cell, which is centrally. And the companies which are specific to a particular department, they'll be called by department placement committee members.
Apoorv, let's say there is a situation that a company XYZ can be, open for different departments, say agriculture, say mechanical. So a department representative from agriculture department would also be calling, from mechanical would also be calling, and then placement, the training and placement cell representative would also be calling. So don't you think a same company official will be getting calls from multiple students, and that has been a major concern in past as well. So do you think that is justified? One company official getting calls from multiple students here?
I have mentioned in my proposal that first the department placement committee members will prepare a list of companies, then in collaboration with the central training and placement cell, the companies which caters to 2 or 3 departments will be removed from that list, and they'll be called by the central training and placement cell. And the companies which are responsible for recruiting students from a particular department only will be called by the department placement members. So,
there has been many instances in past that suppose a company which basically opens only for agriculture, but because of the central training and placement team, it has opened for different departments. So what are you suggesting? Like there have been cases like that, right?
like the central training and placement committee will be knowing that a particular company opens for 2 or 3 departments, then that company won't be there in the list of department placement committee members, because they'll be knowing that this company has a possibility of opening for 2 or 3 departments.
Apoorv, I have a question. One more I was asking you. Apoorv, will you have a person from the central TSG coordinating with the people in the department which can take care of such stuff?
Definitely, sir. He'll be coordinating with the department placement committee members, because then only he'll be sharing the list with them. So he'll be collaborating with them.
Apoorv, once a department representative is able to convince a company to come to IIT Kharagpur for recruitment, what will be the protocol after that? Will the company be forwarded to the central placement team, or will it be still taken care of by the department representative?
Once the company has agreed to come to the institute for recruiting of a particular department, then that company's contact will be given to the central training and placement cell for all the other formalities.
Yeah, Apoorv, I have a question for you. We have around a lot of departments, say approximately, let's take a figure of 15 or 15 to 20, okay? We have 3 representatives from each. That comes to a number above 50. Now the present PlaceCom team already has a problem that there are not sufficient equipment for them to do the calling, okay? So you want to add 50 more students who will also do calling along with them, and you don't have any facilities for them to actually make the call.
So first of all, there are 19 departments, and if you refer to my proposal, it is clearly mentioned that the department placement committee members will operate from the respective department offices. They won't be working on the same issue.
So what do you mean by respective office departments? I don't understand. Will there be a phone dedicatedly present over there for TNB purposes?
Yes, sir. There will be a phone, and they will be working from their department itself.
Have you spoken to anyone whether this is possible?
Yes,
whether you can have a phone in each and every department specifically for calling of training and placement? Have you spoken? Because I am aware of the fact that to get even one more phone in the present training and placement committee is a very long procedure. Not impossible, but a very long procedure. Are you suggesting that there be a phone in each and every department?
Sir, I have talked to Professor H. Rahman, PIC AGFE for training and placement, Professor B.C. Michael, PIC Chemical Engineering, Professor R.K. Sen, PIC Biotechnology, Professor A.K. Verma, PIC Mining Engineering, and they have given me a positive feedback.
Apoorv, previously the DEPREPs have a simple task of collecting the details from the professors and giving it to the central placement committee. So that simple task was neglected by most of the research scholars and postgraduate students, and also by the students of undergraduate students. So how are you going to address this solution? You are giving a much more task to them.
Sir, initially the department representatives were not allowed to call the companies themselves. Now they are allowed to call the core companies of their own department, so they will be motivated, because it will enhance the placement of their respective department itself.
Apoorv, is a follow-up question. Don't you think giving company list to the present PlaceCom team is already a very motivational event? I mean, it's a very motivational work. Are you saying just giving them the responsibility of calling will ensure the work that they are already not doing?
Sir, right now the 11 members of Central Training and Placement Cell calls around 4,000 companies. If we reduce some of the core companies from their list, it will enhance their performance itself, and more number of open to all companies will be called to the institute, and more core companies can be called by the department representative as they...
I think it would be better if you explain the working of this proposal right from the time when the company is allotted to the department executive to the time the company comes here for recruitment. Who will be the stakeholders in this process, and what will the difference of roles be?
Sir, first of all, the department representatives of the new placement committee will form a list of the companies which are restricted to their own departments. Then they'll consult with the Central Training and Placement Cell. And the companies which are catering to 2 or 3 departments will be removed from that list, and the only companies which are restricted to a particular department will be called by department representatives. And once the company agrees to come to the institute for recruitment, it will be handed over to the Central Training and Placement Cell for further formalities.
So, will it be the responsibility of the central placement team to conduct the JNF review and the slotting of the company when they come for recruitment?
Sir, the slotting will be done by the Central Training and Placement Cell.
Apoorv, you mentioned in your proposal that you have an internship cell, which will also, the companies will also be forward to internship cell. So we have the central team, the 3 department representatives, into the number of departments is open to, plus an internship cell. So I guess around 10 people will be contacting each company. Do you think this is feasible? And efficient?
So first of all, the department placement committee and the Central Training and Placement Committee won't be contacting the same company. They'll be different
Not for
companies.
anything, not for logistics, not for JNF,
No,
for
sir.
nothing.
Once the company has agreed to come over here, it will be transferred to the Central Training and Placement Cell. This also happens with the present system. Once the company is contacted by a particular placement coordinator, he transfers it to other person who handles logistics. So still in the present system also we have more than 2 points of contacts.
2 people.
We have 2 points of contacts. We have 2 points of contact.
You are adding so many others. 10.
I'm not adding because once the company has agreed, he'll transfer the contact to the logistics person in the Central Training and Placement Cell. So still also we'll be maintaining only 2 points of contacts.
If there's a company if there's a core company that is open to around 7 or 8 departments, can you tell me the entire process of, and it's also open for internships, can you tell me the entire process of who will be contacting it and when?
For example, if a company is open to 7 to 8 departments, it will be called by the Central Training and Placement team
It's a
itself.
core company.
So, but it is catering to 7 to 8 departments, that is why. It will be called the Central Training and Placement Cell.
Every core company is open to a minimum of at least 2 or 3 departments. I know that as a placement committee member. It's not a
Jain Irrigation of Agriculture and Food Engineering is open to only for agriculture, food engineering
I'm not
department.
talking about one company here. I'm not talking about one company here.
Apoorv, tell me, does a similar structure exist in practice in any other IIT and is it working efficiently?
So, a similar kind of structure exists in IIT Bombay, it's working very good.
Apoorv, since every company wants first page, first day, first slot, so can you ensure that there will be no clashes between departmental interest because we have less number of resources, accommodation and all?
Sir, the slotting part will be entirely dependent on the Central Training and Placement Cell. The calling of the company, of a core company, will be done by the Department Placement Committee members, and the slotting will be done by Central Training and Placement Cell.
Can you ensure that no department will raise question on training and placement? If training and placement is giving slot to CS department company and not giving to mechanical department company, then can you ensure that mechanical department will not raise a question?
Again, Sadiq, this is not something which can be discussed by him or you. It's something which is PIC, TNT will take decision on. Please.
Have you discussed your plan to TNT people?
Yes, sir, I've discussed with placement coordinators, and also I've talked to Professor S.K. Parai. He said he's willing and he's very enthusiastic if some initiatives come from our end.
Apoorv,
Last question.
Apoorv, I just want to know your